The claim I am refuting is abortion should be illegal and prohibited due to permanent damage and unfairness to human beings. The main proposition is a claim of policy combined with a claim of value. The opponent's secondary claims are abortions are life-threatening for women. Number 2, abortions cause psychological damage. Number 3, eugenic termination is wrong and discriminates. For secondary claim 1, abortions are life-threatening for women. The advocate mentioned that more than 400 women have died from illegal abortions since 1978. According to my research, the number of deaths from legal abortion are very small compared to the number of maternal deaths related to children. The researchers for the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation at the University of Washington estimated that 18.5 mothers died for every 100,000 births in the U.S. in 2013, a total of almost 800 deaths. That is just in 2013 alone. However, the United States is only ranked 60 for maternal deaths on a list of 180 countries. The researchers also estimated that a staggering 293,000 women died of pregnancy-related causes in 2013. And the next evidence saying that the substance RU486, which induces abortion, is used 17% of abortions, does not support why abortions are life-threatening for women. RU486 is FDA approved, which means that women who are using RU486 will not have major problems in their abortions. Sepsis, severe illness caused by infection of the bloodstream, is a known risk related to any type of abortion. According to FDA, reports of sepsis undergoing medical abortion are very rare, approximately 1 in every 100,000. Also, according to the National Right to Life, tests in France yielded a 95 to 96% success rate, and the tests in the United States yielded a 92% success rate when using RU486. Now moving on to secondary claim 2, abortions cause psychological damage. The evidence that says that young adult women who underage abortion may be at increased risk for subsequent depression is insufficient. The American Psychological Association Task Force concluded that there is no credible evidence that abortion causes mental health problems for women. The researcher consistently found that the backgrounds and circumstances of the women who seek abortions vary. More research is needed to explore other factors, such as poverty, prior exposure to violence, a history of emotional problems, and a history of drug or alcohol use may place women at experiencing abortion. So failures to control these risk factors may lead to misleading reports that associate abortion with depression. For secondary claim 3, eugenic termination is wrong and discriminates. The secondary claim is a valid claim, not a fact claim. Also, the secondary claim and the evidence are not relevant to the main proposition. The evidence, children which come in the womb with a disability doesn't make them any less than women, is not a fact, but a personal opinion. There is no statistics or testimonies to back up that statement. The second evidence the advocate used was that over 80% of women have abortions when the child is diagnosed with Down syndrome. The advocate did not cite where the evidence came from. During my research, I found a survey conducted by Georgetown University that only 4% of 499 physicians encourage mothers to continue pregnancy and allow Down syndrome to be born. Does physicians only tell the parents only about the negative effects, but the decisions are still in the hands of the parents, but did not show what is the percentage of how many women actually aborted their child just because the child had Down syndrome. And overall, I agree with the advocate's position on abortion, but she needed more evidence and support to back up her fact claims. Thank you.
All right, all the structural stuff is fine. On the first point where you are making the comparison on the death rates, you've got a good number here for the number of deaths per 100,000 live births. And then you have another number, which is the number of maternal deaths, I assume, around the world from all causes. What I didn't get was anything that was specific to the number of deaths that come from abortion. The only one that you have any information on is just the RU 486, and since that only represents 17% of abortions, you in essence have kind of diminished the significance that you've got there. I think you've got a good number there, that there's only one death associated in 100,000 with chemically induced abortions. So that's the way you want to make that comparison. Say, giving birth, 18 women, almost 19 women out of 100,000 are going to die. Getting an abortion, 1 in 100,000 women is going to die. Which is more dangerous? It's pretty clear childbirth is a lot more dangerous. So if we're going to be talking about the life-threatening issue, that's the way to make the comparison. It would be nice if you had comparative data for abortions other than the chemically induced abortions. On the second argument, I think that you've got an interesting point here that there may be other causality that's been associated with this. There's kind of a general challenge to the evidence that the advocate is using, and then a suggestion that maybe the studies that are referred to don't look enough at the background of the woman who received the abortion and don't understand the depression may be affiliated with other factors there. That's a reasonable press. It's a good question to ask. I don't remember the advocate's evidence. This would be one of those places where if we were having a debate, we could have a lot more expansion of discussion about the quality of the information that's going on there. On your third point, I think you've got a legitimate argument here that it's a value claim and so really shouldn't be part of the consideration here. The argument that is not relevant to the main proposition is okay. I think that one of the problems is that the main proposition is so broad-based, and because it's a policy argument, it allows you to get in just about anything. Your evidence on this point was a little bit confusing because it made it sound like the overwhelming majority of doctors want women to get abortions who are having Down syndrome children, but women can decide for themselves. So I don't know what that gets you in the long run for your argument. So you presented this information on that point, and it's not helping make a comparative argument for me. But the first 2 points I thought were a lot clearer. At the end of the speech, you don't need to agree. Please don't agree. Like I said, I think I've used this example before. If you were the defense attorney, you wouldn't summarize your speech by saying, well, yeah, I think my client's guilty as hell, but they just didn't prove it. That's not the position that you want to take. Just stick to the claim they failed to prove their position. All right. Thank you.